And welcome back. ICG, one of one here, and today I've got a 20 card PSA reveal video for you. I know, it's been a while, but guess what? I'm back. These 20 cards, I've got a little bit of hockey, a little bit of basketball, and a whole lot of football. This is also the first submission I decided to send in on my own, as opposed to through a group submitter. I wanted to see if it was cheaper on my end if I went on my own and how quick the turnaround time was. As it turns out, it is slightly more expensive submitting on your own, at least without any monthly specials. But I did notice that it was significantly quicker. Maybe it's because my batch is a lot smaller than what a group submission batch would be. But I sent this off literally February 22nd, and today, as of this filming, came to my door. It is March 21st. So that's a blistering 1 month turnaround, which is incredible. So enough talking. Let's jump into the action. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Pour yourself a drink. Pour yourself a drink. I apologize. I've been all over the place. Started a new job and it's been super hectic. But you gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills, right? This submission actually initially had 25 cards, but 5 of them belonged to one of my buddies, and he wanted the grades to be a surprise all on his own, and he watches these, so I figured, you know what, I'll omit them. So, first card up is the 1991 Upper Deck French Peter Forsberg. This card, pretty clean card, but oh, there, yeah, you saw the grade there. It got an 8. I've got a little bit of a theory that PSA is somewhat biased towards handing out high grades to older cards, and I've got a good mix of both, quote unquote, vintage, not quite vintage, but cards that are like 20 plus years old and ultra modern cards from sets that came out literally this year. So this is an example, right? 2023 Artifacts out of Upper Deck. It's the Luke Hughes Clear Cut. Actually acquired this card via trade from I think his name is Up North or North of Border Cards. Anyways, I looked at the card and I thought, for a clear cut, this is a pretty freaking good looking card. Let's see if PSA agrees. And they do. Look at that. All right, so let's make 3 piles there. I'm anticipating a lot of 9s. Up next is the 1992 Michael Jordan. This card, actually quite clean. I cracked this one out as well. It was a Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or KSA 9.5 near Gem Mint. But like I said, it's an older card. This card is over 30 years old. Let's see what PSA thought of it. Wow. Decided to give it a 9. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair grade for this card. Very cool. I don't have any Michael Jordans, so that's one to add to the collection. Up next, we have the infamous Panini Chronicles Ja Morant with Young Dolph in the background, the Tuies. It just seems like every year, there's something new that gets added to the story. It's like we're gonna find out one of these days, like one of these people in the background ended up founding some crazy startup, or of course that there's a serial killer somewhere in the background. This card initially was a PSA 8, and my buddy and we did not agree with that grade. He actually told me to resubmit it. Thought it could fetch at least a 9. Let's take a look. Got a 9. Alright. Probably because of that little bit of whitening there on the corner. Oh, there's a little bit of whitening there on that corner too. Interesting. The things you see when you're looking at things through a camera. Up next, we have Tiger Woods Upper Deck Golf rookie card. I had high hopes for this card. This will be the second time I've submitted it. It was initially like a GMA 10, and when I first submitted it, it got an 8. Let's see what they decided to give it here. An 8. Now, like I said, this is the second time I submitted this card, and I wouldn't have submitted it if I thought that it's gonna do no better than a 9. I guess maybe there's a surface issue there. I don't know. Anyways, hardwoods got an 8. 1998 Topps Randy Moss, one of the greatest receivers of all time. Picked this one up raw. When I got it, it was a pretty dang clean card. A little bit of corner issues. Back centering is off, but I figured, you know what, it's on the back. Maybe PSA would grant me some mercy, and they decided to give it a 9. Okay. Greatest receiver of all time, or one of the greatest. It's gonna have to settle for second place there. 1998 Topps Peyton Manning. Now this one I thought was in slightly worse condition than the Randy, because there was a surface issue somewhere. Yeah, right there. It's sort of like a scratch within the card. On the back, yeah, crazy centering issues. Look at that. All slanted to one side. Kind of like his head in that pose. But a 9 would be great. And that's what it got. Okay. That's fine. I'll live with that. Next, we have a Travis Kelce Prism rookie card. This is also a resubmission. This was initially a PSA 8. Cracked it open, cleaned it up. It looked pretty dang clean. I mean, if they saw something, oh, okay, maybe in that light you can see a little bit of a scratch or an indent in the back. But I thought, no way that this card is an 8. Its front is impeccable. A 9 is what you want out of this card. And there we go. Very good. That's at least $100. Very nice. Up next, 2020 Panini Phoenix Justin Herbert. This is the green variation. I submitted this card before. This is the jersey number card. It had a 9, and I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go. Try to submit it and see if we can get an upgrade. Okay. Well, I threw like $30 out the window with that card. That's okay. That's a nice grade for that card. Hopefully he has a bounce back season under Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, Jim. Here's the Prism pink rookie card for him. Looking at it now, I will say this, I've gotten a lot better at determining centering. Submitted this card right before I figured out my new strategy. And essentially, I don't look and compare between the sides and the top and the bottom. Like you can do that, but I think if you look basically in that general vicinity and sort of like allow your eyes to go out of focus on the portrait, you can kind of see how the portrait's kind of like a reticle. And you'll see that it's like slanted in two directions if it's really off center, and this is what that card is. The back is actually quite centered and slightly thicker on that side, but in any case, I'm expecting an 8 out of this card, and it gave me a 9. Cool, I'll live with that. For our first pile, we have a couple 8s, a single 10, and a whole bunch of 9s. Let's hope that this pile saves my saves my investment here. Here we have a 2020 Panini Prism Jalen Hurts Silver Prism. This card was initially a BGS 9, Those are the subgrades there. 9.5 corners, 8.5 surface, 9 edges, and 9 centering. I decided to grade this card and cross it over because it came in a lot of 4, and that lot of 4 I actually managed to pick up when the Eagles were in the midst of their late season collapse. And so the person essentially sold all 4 cards, this one included, for the price of just the BGS 9. So I figured if this scores a 9, it at least pays for the lot. So yes. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping for a 10, but as you can see, it's sort of slanted slightly that way, and there's probably issues with the surface that PSA detected, but my eyes certainly couldn't. Sweet. Next, we have a 2020 Select Jalen Hurts Silver Prism. This one I picked up raw. I picked it up mostly because I thought its centering was almost spot on. It also looked really clean. This is one of those cards I picked up off of eBay. See what I got? Yes. Okay, here we go. Let's start the rally. 10. Next we have Jordan Love. This is the red die cut. I believe that's the Concourse. Yeah, that's the Concourse 47. Jordan Love, he had a resurgence. People were super down on him this time last year. I believed in him. In fact, I actually made some money off of a 3-card lot involving this guy. Made quite a bit of money, tripled my money. This will continue that trend. Jordan Love making me some cachet. Thank you, sir. This card I also picked up along with that Jordan Love. This is the same red die cut, but in the premier level. I thought that they should have also gotten a 10, but they gave me a 9. Okay, whatever. Is what it is. Now we've got some defensive players here, or a defensive player, my favorite defensive player, Jalen Carter. Here's his silver, the premier rookie card. Picked this up at a card show for like $1. The guy truly did not care about defensive players. I mean, the hobby in general doesn't, but I've got love for them. Let's see what the baby rhino got me here in a silver. That's a 10. Let's go. I'm gonna drink to that. Haven't had a sip yet. Okay. Next, we have the green. Beautiful color match. Another well-centered card. You know, say what you will about Panini, but if you're able to find a well-centered card, I mean, their quality control, I feel like, has stepped up for this set, at least. It's another 10. Wow. Got a lot riding on you, baby rhino. My opinion, he should have been the defensive player of the year over Will Anderson. But it's about how you finish, evidently. Everyone's got very short memories. They forgot about how dominant he was the first half of the season. Here's the neon green pulsar. Looking at it now, yeah, you can see it's slanted this way, right? Thinner on that side and that side. Thinner on the top and the bottom. Wouldn't surprise me if this got the 9. Yeah, got the 9. That's fine. Arguably the card in this out of the 3 that was, well, that's a cool effect. I was gonna say the card that was quote unquote the least valuable of the 3 Jalen Carters ended up getting the lowest grade, so I'll be happy with that. Up next, Anthony Richardson. I believe I've got 2 of them. Yeah, this one is the neon green pulsar. Look at that. Like, again, it's kind of thinner on here than here, but well centered top to bottom. AR-15. I'm going to be straight up. I'm investing heavily into this guy. He showed that when he was healthy, he was a weapon that could not be stopped. Let's see what Shane Steichen is able to do with the Colts moving forward. This one got me a 10. Thank you, sir. AR-15. And this one is the laser variation. Huh. Yeah, I'm looking at this now. It's tilted in that direction. So based on how the other cards graded, I would venture to say that this got a 9. Yeah. That's alright. I checked the comps, and this will at least break me even if I sell it, so it's nice. And the last one is a Bryce Young neon green pulsar. I remember I was actually thrifting at a Goodwill, and my phone went off, and this card was offered to me at a discount. Yes, the owner saw that I had added it to my watch list and was like, oh, finally I can get rid of this guy. But I think Bryce Young, he's just in a really bad situation. I think with the right weapons around him and the right scheme, Dave Canellis, I think that's his new OC, he did a pretty bang-up job with Baker Mayfield, who's another shorter quarterback. Hopefully this little guy can bounce back. And we got a 10. All right, so maybe that's a harbinger of good things to come. So invest heavily in the Carolina Panthers and in Bryce Young. So let's get that out of the way. Let's go through some quick highlights here. Bryce Young, 9 laser. Get that out of the way. Got the silver Jalen Hurts in a 9. Very nice card. Justin Herbert, pink in a 9. And a Justin Herbert Phoenix green in a 9. As for our 10s, the Luke Hughes, brother of Jack. I have high hopes for this guy in his career. This was a nice flip on my end. I'm very happy with what that trade turned into for me. Another 10. Here we have the Panini Select Jalen Hurts Silver Prism. Got a Jordan Love die cut red prism. The Jalen Carter Silver PSA 10. Jalen Carter green in the PSA 10. Gotta get that schmutz off the. Get that schmutz off. Anthony Richardson, neon green pulsar 10. And of course, Bryce Young, neon green pulsar in a 10. So there we have it. Overall, I'd be lying if I told you I was super ecstatic about how this submission turned out. But I feel like it was a realistic outcome for the cards I did submit. There were a whole bunch of 50-50 cards that simply did not fall in my favor, but the ones that I thought that would score 10s did score 10s. Pretty obvious to me that cards that are ultra modern, a bunch of these were from 2023. PSA seems to grade those a little bit easier. Cards that are a little bit older, with the 9s, and really old cards ended up getting an 8. So there we have it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm going to try and make more videos. I've got a couple more submissions coming in, hopefully within a few weeks. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.